Hey everybody, 8-Bit Josh here, and welcome back to Aurora Park. Alright, so it's a little bit of a shorter episode this time, although, I don't know, I guess they're all usually somewhere between 15 to 20, 25 minutes. I feel like this one's a little shorter than average, but maybe not, I don't know. Anyway, so this episode, it started off with, you can see it made the next station for the monorail, which, if you remember when we did the monorail station in the Main Street area, it's called Corval Station Alpha. So this one will be Corval Station Delta, I believe. I mean, we could make it Beta, I guess, if we want to go in order, like Alpha, Beta. But yeah, I started off kind of just getting the, I guess, outline of the station building here, and obviously the queue and then the exit path. But really, most of this episode is focused on another shop building. So we make a little shop building that is, there's a, what did I put in there? Honestly, can't remember. I think I did the pizza pen, and it wasn't the pip shot, was it? Oh crap, I can't remember. But yeah, so this is actually the start of the building here, and you'll be able to see here in a second what the drink is. It the pip shot juice, maybe that's what I had. But yeah, anyway, my thought with this building is I wanted to go with a sort of a different look than we've seen so far in this park. And like right here, this is basically, I just did the interior walls of the building, and the outside, I wanted it to have like a very angular kind of shape to it. So you'll see I mess around quite a bit with like the angles of this, what were going to be the sides of the buildings, basically. I thought it would look cool, like if, you know, they were just kind of at an angle, and then, you know, the top of the building, they kind of, like, it goes more up, like a regular building, kind of straight up and down. So yeah, you see, like, I'm basically I'm fussing with these pieces, and I just couldn't quite get it to look the way that I wanted to. Like, it starts off okay, like, you know, well, here I was like, oh, you know, I need to make sure this, the queue, you know, there's enough room between the buildings. So it almost is like a little alleyway here, between like the queue entrance for the monorail station, and then the building, the shop building here. But yeah, like, it starts off okay, and I'm like, I'm going pretty good. I'm like, hey, this is turning out okay. And then I'm like, you know, I couldn't figure out the corners, because where they intersect, I don't know, it wasn't working quite the way that I wanted it to. And so you can see there, like, where, you know, it kind of is angled and then goes more for a straight up and down look. And I decided to swap out the wall piece here on top, just to get a little variety, so it wasn't all just like the same texture and you know, kind of color scheme, trying to make it look a little more, you know, a little more interesting and visually pleasing to the eye. But yeah, you can see, like, I got some like really weird angles going on with this shop, and honestly, I don't know what I was thinking as I was doing this. It just didn't work out at all the way that I wanted. I don't know what that weird triangular corner piece I was trying to go for there. It just, I don't know. You know, you know me by now. A lot of times I just start building and I don't really know, you know, I have an idea in my head, but I don't always know how I'm gonna get there. So that's pretty much what this building, this building is a perfect example of Josh not knowing what he's doing. Because it's just, I mean, it looks okay with the sides, like, so far. It's just, you know, It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. But no, it was terrible singing. Ignore that part. Yeah, so it gets to the point here in a few seconds where I just give up, and I'm like, there are these temple block pieces that I'm using. There are like these triangle pieces, which you see right there. I'm like, oh, I'll just use these to fill in the space in between the angled walls and the, just the regular up and down walls, and it didn't work out. Still, I was like, oh, well, here we'll adjust the angle and everything will look okay, and we'll fill out the spaces, but it just doesn't work. So you'll see here in a second, I cut out a lot of the parts where I was figuring out how I was going to do it, and then there you go. So you can kind of see what I did there with the angle pieces. Those are just regular, like triangular temple block pieces, and it ended up working out a little bit better. So I used those little kind of tarp pieces there. I thought it looked cool, and it was like it was different for a sci-fi kind of look. I guess with this whole area is like sci-fi, but kind of, I don't know, like rustic or whatever. And I think the the differences between the looks there, I think it looks cool. So hopefully you do too. But yeah, here just going back to adding the yellow lights, because that's something that we have going throughout this whole area, the whole Smuggler's Den area, trying to get that gritty yellow light kind of look, which you only see it at night. And I know at this point we don't really see this park at nighttime, except for a few quick shots at the end when I do the fancy like little recap bits at the end. But yeah, so just more adding the sci-fi pieces and trying to make it look cool and interesting. And a lot of these, the sci-fi pieces in Planet Coaster are really, really cool, and as with everything else that they do, really highly detailed, but there's not a whole ton of variety. I've learned, especially doing an entire sci-fi park. Like, I think out of all the different like theming types that they have in this game, sci-fi is probably the smallest. I'm trying to think. Maybe I was gonna say maybe like the fantasy, but I don't know. Even that has quite a bit. That's, I don't know. I love the sci-fi stuff, obviously, because I'm basing an entire park around it, but trying to come up with like new and different, unique ways to use all the pieces and still make it look visually pleasing and different and interesting, and trying to make all the buildings not look exactly the same has been a little bit more of a challenge than I guess I thought it was going to be. But that's not too bad. Like, it's if anything, it all that does is it forces me to be extra creative and I guess think outside the box, which I feel like I definitely did with this building. It definitely still has that sci-fi feel, but it looks sort of, I don't know, more, because it has the wood pieces and the canopy bits and bobs there. And my kind of thought with the roof here is, like, since they're the two shops, that these are sort of the, I don't know, like the venting system for the shops. And you see like the kind of neon, like bluish green on those like little barrel pieces or whatever they are. And you'll see like the vent, I actually add the colorable smoke effect, and I make it the same color so it looks like it's venting smoke that's the same color. But yeah, so I realized in the last episode, I didn't read your guys' comments from episode what was it? This is 11. So episode 9, I did not read the comments from episode 9 and episode 10. So I'm gonna go ahead and do those now. So in episode 9, Poofy Gaming says, now this episode 9 was the roller coaster. He said, seems like an inverted coaster to me unless they hang on the sides of the track. In that case, it's a wing coaster, which looks pretty intense as you've made it. And I mean, obviously that video is a while ago, I commented on it, but yes, it is an inverted coaster, but it is considered a flying coaster because, like I explained in my reply to him, the seats do fold up under the track, which make it a flying coaster. Stitch Up says, excellent as always, and the inclusion of the shops in the main building of the ride is great. How do you get so much done in each episode? Impressive. So thanks. Yeah, I know it seems like I get a lot done in each episode, and I guess I kind of do. And as I kind of explained, you know, these are obviously sped up. These are time-lapse videos, and I actually what do? I render at 4 times speed. So these videos in Aurora Park that you see are 4 times faster than, you know, normal speed. Plus I cut out an awful lot of me like placing things, deleting, staring, trying to figure out what I'm gonna do, and you know, nothing is happening on the screen because that stuff just isn't interesting. So it makes it appear like I get a lot more done than, I mean, maybe I do. I guess I do. I don't know. You know, if on average these episodes are 20 minutes long, they're probably, you know, it's probably 2 to 3 hours of actual recording that I do. That's about, you know, average length for, depending on the builds. That this building itself was probably 2 hours. Some of the bigger buildings are longer. And then, yeah, so when I do that, then I render them down at 4 times speed, and then I go through and I edit. And then right here, I apologize, I don't know what happened to the screen. It just decided it was going to be like, hey, I'm going to be smaller. I don't know why. I don't know if it was an OBS thing. I tested it after the fact, and I don't really know what happened here. So I apologize that the video got smaller. That's an anomaly to me. This has never happened in the almost 2 years that I've been doing this. But luckily the kind of recap footage at the end is back to full screen. So yeah, just adding like the snow and everything here, which I realized I didn't do on Smuggler's Run, so I'll go back at some point and I'll add the little snow details to that building as well. But back to the comments. So last one on episode 9, Let 'em come in it, says some of the loops you can do on these are nuts, got a really nice flow and composition to it. This one with the elegant curves, think I'm finally up to speed now with the Planet Coaster episodes, but still got some more catch up to do on Parkitect. So yeah, the coasters are pretty sweet, and you know, all the different curves and inversions and loops and everything you can do are pretty awesome. And then let's see, so that was episode 9, and then last episode, episode 10, only one comment this time, but that's okay. Stitch Up, he says the landing pad is dope, love it, and remember the riders on the lift would see it too. That's true, they would, because I was saying in that episode, like, I was putting a lot of detail into the landing pad and guests really wouldn't see it because they're down on the ground. But that's true, the riders on the roller coaster as they're going up the lift hill, they would get a quick glimpse at it as they're going up the hill. But yeah, so that's comments and everything. I'm taking, you know, about a week off, I think, of doing videos. I'll have I think I have one more Parkitect episode coming next week, and then I think on my next stream, I think I'm gonna actually do Aurora Park in a stream. I've been doing the Temple of Doom coaster for the last couple streams, and so I think that would I think it would be cool to do Aurora Park again. I did one, I don't know, it was like maybe a month ago. We did the go-kart, the like enclosed indoor go-kart track, which was cool and it was a lot of fun. So yeah, keep that on your radar. But yeah, so let's see, what else was I gonna say? I can't remember. I have so many things running through my head. But yeah, as always, make sure if you're not subscribed, you hit that subscribe button. And what was I saying? Sorry, I'm like so out of it today. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, make sure you're subscribed. If you're not, hit the subscribe button. Also hit the little bell icon. That way you get notified when I post new content. Also check out my Twitch channel because I'm doing a lot of streaming now and trying to get that, you know, trying to pick up my Twitch game a little bit. That's just twitch.tv/8bit_Josh. So yeah, thanks so much for watching. I am 8-Bit Josh, and thanks for watching. See ya.